Bonjour, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about a movie called Rock and Rule. Rock and Rule, I saw a couple years ago. My husband bought me a DVD of it because he knows I like strange animation. But that was the only thing I knew about it, was just that my husband bought it for me. I now see that it's on the stream. So, if it sounds like it's up your alley, it looks like a lot of people have chance. Oh, look what I bought. Yeah, that's right. I'm rolling around my face with an expensive stone, so legitimacy, here I come. So anyway, Rock and Roll is a really confusing movie when you look at it, and then when I looked it up, everything kind of made sense. So to start with, it's made by a Canadian company called Nevlana or Nelvana. I keep mixing the two. Most of what this company started to do was kids movies and kids shows. Let me see what I think. They did a Pippi Longstocking. They did a couple of Care Bears, little things like Care Bears in Wonderland, I think I saw on the list. There were like an episode of Magic School Bus here and there. So a lot of like kids television shows. Then they decide, hey, let's make a feature film. And that's what Rock and Roll is their first feature film. Already so strange. I guess they thought, okay, so we've animated animals and we've animated humans. For our next, let's mix them. That's like the background, I guess, on it. It's just that it's this Canadian production company that never made a feature-length film, decided it wanted to, and a lot of them who worked on it worked on Care Bears. And, oh, Alvin and the Chipmunks, which I'll bring up later. The movie really, the plot is simple. It is bad guy kidnaps girl for evil plot, and then, spoiler alert, rescue. Now, from looking it up, apparently the script was not very well defined, which in watching the movie, you can tell because it's very like, what are we doing here? You've brought me to this world. We get a nice text scroll in the beginning of the movie stating that the world is over. War destroyed everything, and now all we have left are these I don't even know how you call them. Human animal hybrids, mostly human with tiny little baby noses like chipmunks. See, that's where I was going to bring it up again. Those noses look like chipmunk noses because they were, and I was right. So anyway, so we're welcome to this world that is basically destroyed, and it's like the world runs on rock and roll. You don't see anything really else. There's a club. I guess people work there, but everybody in this world is extremely concerned with music, making music. And then there is this guy named Mock, and Mock is basically, I wouldn't say the ruler, but the god of this. Like, he's a tastemaker. So we open on I guess what are going to be our main characters. They're in a band. They're doing like a show. Muck is actually there listening for the talent, and we'll get to that and to why, what nefarious purpose he possibly have. So the band plays. Muck doesn't like the song. The lead singer, Omar, I believe, is all pissed, and he's got an ego. You can tell he's like, my song. In the beginning, Angel, the female band member, keeps asking like, hey, when am we going to do my song? He blows it off, yada yada. So after they turn the electricity off for Omar's song, Angel starts her song, which I guess that she got the electricity plugged back in. Plot hole. And she sings the banger of this show. Like, that's the best song. It's called The Signal. I will likely break out into it later. And Mock hears this, and he knows that that's what he's been looking for. This is the voice that he's been looking for. So she goes there. I'm going to try and move around quickly. She goes there. He invites them to come to his mansion. Basically for him to try and get her to go away. Like, the whole villain speech, or like at least manager speech, they're holding you back. This is also where we're introduced to my favorite part, which is the rollerblading or roller skating Schlepper brothers, of which there are 3. Most of the animal people in this have a very similar design where they're still kind of pretty and cute with their tiny little chipmunk noses. The Schlepper brothers are not. They have like bulldog faces, and I love them. I can't remember all of them by name wise, but one of them's named Zip. and I think he's the slow one, and please don't come at me because I don't know what else to call him. There are 3 of them, and he watches a children's show called Uncle Mikey, and they have him have this really silly kind of affect when he's talking, and he's adorable, and I love him. And that's just how I would describe that he was. Maybe let's call him childlike then. Let's not call him the other word I use. We're not going to say it again because it could be offensive, and I don't want to offend anybody. So they're there. They're adorable. I love them. Muck's there. He kidnaps Angel even though she says no, and they're able to kind of distract the rest of the band with these things called Edison balls. This is what's great about sci-fi movies like this, where you're just introduced to something but nothing is explained, but you kind of know what's going on because they're, oh, here's an Edison ball, and they hand it to the bandmates, and they immediately like zonk out. So like, this is the drug. Why not? Music ruled world, human animal hybrids, balls of light that make you high. I'm not judging. So then the movie becomes, we're trying to get Angel back. It turns out that Mock, the reason that he's doing what he's doing, he wants to summon this demon and basically become the most well-known person because of destroying the world. So a little bit of a flawed rationale on his part, because he's gonna die too, but whatever. So he's realized that he needs to mix his voice, let's see, let me get some primer on these, with Angel's voice to summon said demon. Now, when I was doing some research, which is honestly just, I think, overstating it, when I was looking into the movie, I found that the original idea was for, the movie wasn't going to be called Rock and Roll, it's going to be called Drats! Exclamation point. I think it was going to be shorter, a lot more kid-friendly, and we'll get to that. He was going to actually turn Angel into a guitar. Like, he was going to use the power of his magic and turn her into a guitar. But honestly, what I read is that they thought that would be too difficult to animate. And to be honest, if I was a kid watching that, I'd probably be disturbed. I watched The Brave Little Toaster as a child, and that still haunts me. And that, I mean, that's got some horrible things in it, but it doesn't have anybody painfully being turned into a guitar. So I feel like maybe that was a better decision on the studio's part. Well, anyway. So as they're making this feature film, they start making it more and more adult. It's rated PG, but you're getting, at one point Angel is, when she's kidnapped by Mock, he has her in like, she has clothes, so I don't understand why this, but he has her in like these ripped up sexy, like Barbarella type of ish, and she's tied up, very, very S&M-y, and then also through the movie she meets this girl named Cinderella, who's one of the Schlepper brothers, is his sister, and you see her hiney like all the time. Her and Angel do a failed escape attempt earlier in the movie, and we're just looking at Cinderella's big ol' hiney the whole time. Let me just get this on. Angel is kidnapped. We know Mock's evil plan. Omar's able to get his friends away from, or no, not even Omar. I think it's, I'm not gonna remember all of them. There was a fat one, like a chunky one. He's able to like save his friends. And now they're gonna go and try and save Angel from the evil plot. Now, Mock, I think he had to intentionally misunderstand what was being said. So he has this computer, and he's talking about his evil plan to summon this demon using Angel's voice. And he's like, can anybody stop the demon? And the computer says, no one voice can do it. Now, look, I hear that as no one voice, multiple voices. Mock is like, oh, no one can do it. Plot convenience. But we know what's going to happen, don't we? Samples. Omar gets in. He finds Angel. Mock is like, not even really caring at this point, because he's like, well, no one voice. Well, ha ha ha. Angel and Omar start to sing. Look at this. Golden. Alright, I guess I'll put it on my face. I feel like I'm not worthy of how shiny it is. Holy. Okay. Oh, I might buy that one. So Omar's there. He gets in. He finds her. he finds where she's tied up. And don't they start singing then the cute little song that she was writing, the signal song? And it starts to send the demon back and messes Mock's entire plan. And happy ending all around. Mock is destroyed. The band is back together because we cared. The band is back together, and now Omar knows how to, you know, respect his girlfriend. And oh yeah, Angel's his girlfriend too, because why not? And share the spotlight, really. But that's it. It's an 87 long, God, look how shiny this stuff is. It's only 87 minutes long, so it's not, and it feels 87 minutes long. You'll go through it quickly if you do end up watching it. And what I haven't mentioned, and I guess what's the most well known about it, oddly, like, funny I didn't mention it, it features the vocal talents of Iggy Pop, the band Cheap Trick, and Debbie Harry. I don't remember if Lou Reed is involved. I'm just going to say it for now in case I have to, but I'll make a thing in the description if I'm wrong. God, I look like Rudolph. Look at this nose. Light my way in the storm. So, it has these great, vocal talents in it. And Debbie Harry sings The Signal, and that is, like I said, a banger. There's also, My Name is Muck, Thanks a Lot, which is also a really fun song. None of them are fantastic, but they're fun. Like, you might have one or two stuck in your head. Reception to the movie was pretty bad. I think they spent like $8 million from what I read on it, and it did not recoup that whatsoever. Let's go for a nice pink, right, guys? Because it's what I'm doing. I'm looking very pink. Is this pink? Is this the pinkest I have? This is the pinkest I have. $8 million didn't really recoup it. It didn't have a good reception. It wasn't like I said, the script apparently was very free in that wasn't really written, and they would kind of animate what they have, talk about it, and say, you know what, we never explained X, Y, and Z. So it's very strange. It's one of those, you can tell. It's the fact that it has such star power behind it, I feel like, is what really confuses me, because it's not great. It's not well thought out. And so those who were involved in the project, I guess, you know, you get to be, I keep calling them, you get to be a human hybrid rock star. And maybe in 1978, when this came out, they were like, there's no way that this movie can fail with the talent behind it. But it really kind of did. It really doesn't have a lot to say. I mean, I was trying to look up kind of like why this movie exists. I couldn't come up with anything, guys. If you can tell me, if you find something as to why, maybe somebody knew Debbie Harry or knew Iggy Pop and were like, you know what would be cool? If we collabed on an animated movie that would be PG, but you see Heine's in it. I feel like Iggy Pop would be so cool with that. So that's what that is. It definitely is weird, and if you're into weird animated movies, I would say give it a try. Like I said, short, easy to get through, really weird. It's got that great feeling sci-fi movies have where they don't explain things, they just kind of show you, except for the beginning long text scroll that's like, so everyone's an animal now and rock and roll rules. Don't ask. I guess it's better than Cool World in that they gave us a text scroll instead of what we got. So, all right. Oh, what will the signal be for your